welcome back to the channel. Today we're here in Detroit, Michigan. We were planning on filming some Mexico action today, but the weather had other plans for us. So our friend Chris here at DDX Automotive reached out and said we could stop by the shop and check out his cool collection. I've seen a few pictures. Let's see what he's got in store for us.
Ooh. Good afternoon.
Woo!
Hey, welcome to Michigan.
Wow. This is impressive.
Thanks for coming by, guys.
Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Chris.
Tanner.
Tanner, nice to meet
My
you,
youngest
Kyle.
Tanner.
This shop is huge.
Sure, thanks. We're at 6,000 square foot.
All right.
We've got, like, to your right, my left here, my ZR1 lid collection. I'm a C6 ZR1 nut. To be fair, I like C4 ZR1s and C7s too, but the C6 has got a soft spot for me. It was my my first like 1,000 wheel car was a C6 ZR1. And
what else we got in the shop here?
so we've got, I mean, it's your basic run-of-the-mill shop. I've got,
Oh yeah?
Yes, it is. Basic run-of-the-mill. I was a woodworker for a bit, so I've got a bunch of woodworking tools. I've got my storage area. I've got my compressor and, you know, random workbench stuff.
And a server farm in the background.
Correct. So we do some crypto mining as well while we're, you know, while we're not talking about cars.
This is where all the graphics cards and motherboards and stuff are that people are trying to get a hold of.
Absorbed by me in this fledgling crypto miner setup. Yes, correct.
Let's go through the car collection here and check it out.
Yeah, we can start. I've got 04 Mr. Chrome Cobra. Got 16,000 miles on it. Ooh. Got it 2 years ago-ish. I drove to California to get that car. Like drove there, drove back. Next to that, I've got an 02. So it's a first year Gen 1 dated manual Murcielago.
Ooh, nice.
With an SV body kit. It's an SV-esque body kit. The SV's got like a blunted nose, but nonetheless, I love the way it looks. I love the paint scheme. Next to it is my, call it your family sedan. It's my 2009 CTSV. It's a 1,000 wheel car built by CT Performance. It's also a 6-speed manual.
Yeah,
so
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, I've been trying to like collect the manual cars as they're still here. So it's a 6-speed manual. Next to that, we've got the 86.
Yeah, this one sticks out like a sore thumb.
86 Lincoln Mark 7 LSC, and I'll open the hood for this one. It's got the 5.0 HO.
Yeah.
So watch out. So when I was a kid, this was the car that my dad had. Although he had the old man colors, this was the car that we went around and did our family, you know, our family errands in. And so it's always had a soft spot for Mark 7s.
Sentimental value.
The first car that I ever wrecked was a Mark 7. First car I got pulled over in was a Mark 7. So this car's got a spot in my heart. So now we start the vet section, and as you can tell already, I'm kind of a vet.
Jeez. There's 8 just sitting right here.
What was the point of getting so many? Why did you?
Right.
So
very good question.
I would love one ZR1, and you have several.
So I started with this one, right? To answer your question in the slow way, it started with this one. This is a 2010 ZR1 that I bought in Florida. And real quick too, I try to like connect my kids to these cars. And so my oldest and I flew down to Daytona Beach and drove this car back. And it was a fun trip, father-son style. So it's one of those things too where like I remember it for that, but it's a Corvette obviously too, and it's cool in its own right. This though was the first car I actually had full builds done for and had motor out and motor back in. And again, CT Performance did all the work. We built it to the point of a 230 mile car, which is a record for a blower-based ZR1. Answer your question. Once I got addicted to the cyber gray ZR1s, you start looking at like, well, how many did they make? You know, what colors did they make? And they only made 4,000 and change ZR1s, which is not a lot in general. And then I discovered that, you know, buddies and I had discovered, not just me, but that like some of these cars are really rare in terms of like what they are. And so as we get further back, there are cars that are like, I have a 1 of 11 car, I have a 1 of 35 car, a 1 of 61 car, a 1 of 54 car, just because their colors are weird. And Corvettes are strange because since they share the line with the base Corvette, which old men buy too, right, like me, that pick colors that are oddball, you have these colors available to ZR1 buyers. They just never get bought. So the cyber gray gets bought, black gets bought, white gets bought, because they're more generic, they look good in any light, they're one of those cars that are safe, colors that are safe. So yeah, I got sucked into the color game.
That is a great way of explaining the safe colors. I like that.
Out of all the C6s here, which one's the most rare?
The light blue in the back corner there is called Carlisle Blue. They made 11 of those cars.
We've seen 2 of them now.
We just saw one last half mile. But so we've seen 20% of them.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. And kudos to that guy, because he took a car that was rare and modified it. Like, kudos, man.
So you got your first ZR1 here.
Yep.
Going down the line here, I see a Z06 next.
Yeah, so the Z06, I bought that car modified. It's a Vengeance twin turbo build. I had wanted a TT car for a while, and I thought it was cool that it matched this car in terms of color. The original owner too put the ZR1 spoiler on the back, so it looks very ZR1-like. It's also got the carbon ceramic brakes, and I call them collectively the CGM twins, Cyber Gray Metallic Twins, on Instagram.
Speaking of metallic colors, the next in the line, I owned an Inferno Orange car. I'm sorry, yeah, that is the Inferno Orange.
Yep.
Okay, it looked red for a second.
Sorry.
That's why I got rid of mine.
It's one of those ones that I'm not an orange car guy. I'm a gray guy, which is as boring as that is. But once I started focusing on the rarer colors, this car was local and it was available. So it was kind of like my first plunge into let's get the rarer colors. And this was early last year, I believe, right before COVID happened.
And how many of these do they make in Inferno?
61 or 63. I want to say it was 61. Wow. And then, you know, I would say worse in terms of numbers. So this is an atomic orange. It's not the best example, and I'm going to make it a good example. It's an 09 only color, so that was it. And this is a 1 of 35. So they
really?
35
I had no idea.
Then you've got the Carlisle Blue, the 1 of 11. And then standing in for my Jetstream Blue ZR1, which this is not, is a Jetstream Blue Z06. This is half of what I call the Jetstream Blue twins, and we're building this and its counterpart, which is a Jetstream Blue ZR1, to be a multi-thousand horsepower, hopefully cars that can compete on the highest level with the Calvo Vipers, with the Atmoto Vipers, with the GTRs. You know, we're trying to get there, and it'll probably take us a year or 2 or 3, but that's the goal here with these Jetstream Blue twins. And again, they're on Instagram as well under that moniker. Backing up a little bit, this color, I know, this color.
I've never seen this color.
It's almost my new favorite, and I hadn't seen this one in person either before last week. This is called Night Race Blue. They made 54 of these.
I didn't even know this existed. All the other colors, I was like, I've heard of them, and that's when I haven't.
But it's a cool color, and the previous owner spec'd it and put these wheels on, the BC Forge wheels. It just looks really good.
They look really good on there.
Good job. And then this color is a one, I believe, of 151 of these cars.
So very rare too.
And it could be wrong here by a couple digits or so.
And you briefly mentioned it, but you have a Jetstream Blue ZR1 that's in the shop, right?
I'm sorry, you're right. I've got the Jetstream Blue. I've got another Cyber Gray ZR1. I've got a 99 750 IL BMW, which is like the old man V12, but it's one of those ones that like the gangster always has, or the hero. So like James Bond had one in the James Bond movies. And it's not here, unfortunately, but it will be here soon. Just getting a stereo put in, of all things.
Before we look at the back row here, can we see what's in your fridge?
Yeah.
Because the shop fridge is pretty important.
MTV crib style.
I'm going to disappoint because I'm not a beer drinker, so I've got a whole lot of soda.
Man's ready to party.
I've got some apple cider though.
You got something for everybody though. Like anybody that's gonna come to your shop, they got.
You know what? So we have meetups here, and we try to make it so if you feel like drinking something that's non-alcoholic, I'm not against alcohol. Don't get me wrong, but like I just don't stock it.
It doesn't mix with cars that well either.
Fair enough. Fair. Good point.
This section sticks out a little differently than.
It does, and it's a little harder to get to. So I've got an 08 Shelby GT500, and I bought this car modified, so it's got a carbon trunk, it's got a carbon hood. The guy did a really good job at modifying it with some expensive bits of carbon.
What's the color on the SS? This is rare, isn't it?
No, I don't. So that's a great question. I don't know that it's rare, and it probably is rarer than black. Although I want a black. This was like the other color. It's called dark cherry, I believe. Although I'm probably going to get flamed for getting it wrong. But it's a black cherry derivative, and I like it no matter what. It's a low mile car, and it was untouched. And I always had a soft spot for Impala SS's and Mercury Marauders and Grand Nationals and all those kind of like old man cars. That's excuse my flat tire too on my '93 Cobra. Cool bits about this car is it's got the leather interior, which was an option, which I was happy to grab. And I found this one local, which is amazing, and I had it for a couple years now. Just a good all-around Fox body looking car.
Yeah, they just look great the way they are. I couldn't change the wheels if I got one of these.
Agreed. No, it's one of those few cars
good.
that you don't want to change the wheels, which is amazing.
Speaking of great wheels,
right, this car too.
The last ZR1 in the shop.
Correct, and it's a 91 LT5 ZR1, and I don't even know what this color is called either, but I'm a kid of the 80s, and this was the color I had to have, because if you were in high school in the late 80s, early 90s, like this was the car you looked up to. So again, bone stock, 3,000 mile, 91 ZR1.
3,000. I was gonna say, looking underneath here, it looks brand new.
It's pretty clean, and I bought it 2 years ago whenever I got that Mistachrome, and like it didn't go for much at all, and I was lucky to grab it. And anymore, you know, these cars are going up in value. And I'm surprised it wasn't expensive back then.
And another 90s vehicle I would love to have.
Yes, more 90s. So I'm in the market for more of these, because again, it's high school, right? This is a 93. I graduated in 92. For those who don't know, the young kids watching these days, the Typhoon was like your track hawk of the day.
Yeah.
Just was. All-wheel drive, right? Turbo, single turbo V6.
Yeah.
Like it was it, and like we would crush Mustangs and other stuff of the day, which
Especially
is
from
interesting.
the dig. Oh yeah.
And then above that, I got a roller. It's a Trailblazer SS roller. It was set up for drag. Used to be a big single turbo LS3. Yeah, it was a big Instagram car. And we should get my other Trailblazer too while we're walking around.
Oh, that's right. We forgot that, the black one. We'll go back there.
This is also a favorite of mine too. This was like trying to make a Trackhawk that's not a Trackhawk. So the Trailblazer I've always had a soft spot for. A buddy of mine had them back in the day when they were brand new. And so this is a 408 stroked LS2 with a 2.3 Magnuson on top. It's about 800 wheel, all-wheel drive. So it's got spray we haven't quite sprayed yet, but beyond that, it's a fun daily driver just to surprise Corvettes with and anybody else who's around.
It's like some firework here too.
Yeah.
Right, so this is like my stereo addiction comes into play here. This is where the battery goes if it was a stock car, but there is no battery here. This is the power distribution block for the stereo. The battery lives in the back of the car. It's a lithium battery, and it's bigger to handle the stereo that was put in.
Oh, dang.
It dates me, but yes,
take you
stereo
guys-
Is that an 18?
so it's a single 18 TSI Platform 5 on 5,000 watts with a 1,200 watt for the front stage, for the front doors, back doors.
5,000 watts, 800 horsepower. Nice combo.
I know, but it's like that thing where it's like, you added all that weight to the thing that had the horse? Yes, I did. That's me.
Yeah, but you have this.
Fair enough. They don't all have stereos.
He's got that too, so I
Yep.
mean, he's...
All right, we're gonna lose a little more hearing here. I lost most of it, my SPL days, and the rest of it on the starting line of the drag strip.
Just turn on the accessory.
So I'm gonna gradually bring us in, all right? So, you know, sounds good.
I got a car that kind of feels like this. All right, that's a little more. Okay.
You feel that in your nostrils, like.
Yeah, it's just everything's just like, I felt like my beard was going like this.
So speaking of this, what is your top 3 favorites?
I get asked that a lot. I always have to like pain over that question, but
I'm sure.
My favorite car here has got to be the 2010 ZR1.
Your first ZR1?
My first ZR1, the first ZR1 that we built on my first 1,000-wheel car, the car that I've gone the fastest in. If you look at it from the outside, it's like, I mean, I've got wheels on it, and the stance is a little bit different, but it largely looks like a stock ZR1. There's not a lot that screams, you know, anything special.
We
Yeah,
start up and hear it?
absolutely.
Gotta hear what this thing sounds like. How much power? 11 off spray?
I'm 100 on motor, and
Yep.
then on spray, we're at 1320.
Yeah, perfect number.
There's the blower.
All right, second and third favorites here. I know it's tough, but
Second
maybe something
is-
sentimental value, or
Yeah, second has got to be my Cadillac here. And the idea behind the CTS-V was to make it the four-door ZR1. So the build is literally identical. It's got a dark 427 aluminum block, a 2.6 blower. The only thing it doesn't have is spray, but this was meant to be like your four-door ZR1. Granted, it's heavier and it's got a bigger stereo and all that stuff, but on the drivetrain side, it's identical. That's like my daily driver ZR1.
the manual is what makes it even cooler to me.
No, agreed. I'm with you, man. I
It's
appreciate
gotta
it
be
too.
in these things.
For sure.
Can we pull this out and open it up?
Absolutely.
Take a closer look. No
Here.
way. Yeah, I like that. I started off as an SPL guy, and then I got into sound quality and the fit and finish stuff, and that is
So again,
is
it's not my
nice.
work, right? It's James Taylor's work. But the point is, he did a really good job on a 6-cylinder bandpass JL12W7. But yes, it's weight, blah blah blah. But you know,
this is a great daily cruiser. You can whoop
It
up on
is.
just about anything on the street.
fair enough. It is like it's a stout car in general, even with the added weight. Like if that had a 1007 wheel, and I forget what the torque was, it was probably slightly less. But I mean, again, this car's going 200 miles an hour plus in the mile, and yeah, I mean it's a stout ride.
Woo! Yeah, that's all good. Got the stick shift.
Well, you may appreciate the doors here, Kyle.
Oh, focal. Yeah, nice. Those were the back when I was.
They're good.
I mean, they still are. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, the third favorite.
Third favorite, and this is going to surprise people. It is this black on black.
Really?
86. Yep. Mark
You
7.
said you had some sentimental value earlier.
It did. We had 3 or 4 of these growing up. My dad worked for Ford and would bring these home, often in the old man colors of like champagne and light blue and brown, right? Nothing that I thought was that cool. But the memories I have are of one, my first time getting pulled over, which was in a Mark 7. And so between that and my first accident where I was turning left and got head-on collisioned by another driver, 100% my fault, was in my dad's champagne Mark 7. During that time of getting the car fixed, he brought home I believe it was a 1990 black on black special edition Mark 7, and I kind of fell in love with that car. And so this is not that. This is an 86, but it is black on black, and it's an LSC. To be fair to Ford, they did a good job of making this car technologically advanced and comfortable. Like, if you look at these seats versus like
condition.
even an 09 Corvette seat, like these
Yeah,
seats
they
are
just
better.
wear out so fast too. Yeah. If you close your eyes, it sounds like a Mustang. Oh,
That sounds like a Ford truck.
the cackle tune. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so we've asked you about your favorites. Matt, what's your favorite?
So right now it's a toss-up. I like that 80s Cobra. I'm an 80s guy, as you know. I like my 80s cars. That Cobra back there, or that Night Race Blue. Night Race Blue.
Yep.
Night Race Blue
Night Race
Zero
Blue.
One. I've never seen one in that color, and it is just such a beautiful color in person. So it'd be a toss-up between those two.
Fred?
Oh, the stick shift Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I love
Yeah, we
Corvettes.
actually see it now. You know?
I'm a Corvette nerd, but like stick shift Mercy.
Who doesn't like one of these cars? Can we start that one up?
Yeah.
I think you all want to hear this one too. Wow.
Yeah, that's the sound I like.
That's what we were waiting for right there. What's your favorite car?
Well, I like the Lambo and the Cobra, but I also like this dark blue Corvette.
I said your favorite. You can't choose half the garage.
I like that one, the Lambo's my favorite. The Murcielago, because of the way it sounds.
Yes. I'm gonna have to say what Night
Race Blue.
Night Race Blue is my favorite because I love ZR1s. That was the reason I really wanted to come here and check out this garage.
What's your favorite car, Tanner?
I don't know.
Which one are you looking forward to inheriting one day?
That's a better question. This one's scary, so I feel like if I drive it, I'd probably like collapse in fear.
Is it the sound that scares you?
Yeah, it sounds like a gunshot.
Yeah.
In Detroit, we hear a lot of those.
We actually heard a bunch last night. Yeah. That's great. This is Detroit, right? This is
I
Detroit.
would say probably the baby blue is probably the best.
The baby blue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like that color?
It's probably gonna sell for a lot, you know.
One day.
I appreciate that.
What's the #1 car at the top of your list that's missing in the collection right now?
Good question. 91 Cyclone. Because they were the car, again, I had a Mustang in high school cool, but like if there was any car that was going to crush my Mustang, it was that car, and this is before all-wheel drive was a thing, and it was an all-wheel drive pickup truck with a single turbo V6, and those things from a light, from a dig, nothing touched those cars. Nothing. So
For sure.
it's a cool car. But like anything else right now, the valuations are high. I'd love a GNX, the Grand National GNX. I want to see the Grand National for that matter. I've got a list. It's not a long list anymore. No, I've got, you know what else is cool? A C6 RS, which is the C6 race version that K-Tech built.
Oh yeah, that was one of my first favorite Corvettes just to look at. I mean to hear too, but we'll have to stop by in a few years and see what the collection looks like then, and do an update video on this. But thank you again. I appreciate the tour.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
All right. And that's going to do it from here at DDX Automotive. Big thank you to Chris for allowing us to come in here and check out his collection. Let us know what your favorite car is here. There's so many to choose from. It was such a treat to check out this collection. We've also been thinking about doing some more garage tours of some unique collections out there, some fast cars, unique cars, exotics maybe. What do you guys want to see? Are there some collections out there that you haven't, that you want to see the full story on? Let us know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more 1320 videos, and we'll catch you next time. Scary as oh my god.